Remember my coworker's seashell that I cleaned in acid? I should present it back to her sitting on something fabulous to make it even prettier to display in her home. I happen to have a nice Lazy Susan. Gosh, wouldn't it be cool if I made resin waves onto that and put the shell on that? So that's where my brain went. That's the art attack. Let's look at the practice footage. I'm going to practice on wooden coasters. I seem to have a lot of those hanging around. I'm using Amazing Clear Cast Plus epoxy mixed with alcohol ink. I mixed some teal and some blue and some clear for in between waves, but the most important that I have to get right is the white. No, that's wrong. That's way too translucent. No, I need a new plan. Okay, let's try some paint and Floetrol. It seemed to work well on the paintings. Yep, that looks like the right color. Yep, there it is. There's the foam. Okay, all right, I got my formula down. Now I practice. How do I want these waves to go? And what do I want the background to look like? I try a dark one, I try a light one, and I decide too to add some sand. Why not? It's a beach. Do you know that pretty much all resins will yellow in time? A resin that is resistant to yellowing over time is typically formulated with certain additives to help protect it from the damaging effects of UV light. These additives can include UV stabilizers, antioxidants, and hindered amine light stabilizers, also known as HALs. Okay, I have to come clean here. I, like many of you, come to YouTube to learn how to do things I haven't done. I, like many of you, have learned that most videos out there make things look relatively easy, but when I try them myself, I learned that there's so much I didn't know, just like learning about UV stabilizers in the resin, for example. Truthfully, there is no replacement for experience. This is an honest account of the creative journey, complete with hang-ups, screw-ups, and frustration that can go along with it. I went with white for the background, and I liked the concept of the sand being on, but I have a problem here. I don't have any more resin. I thought in all my wisdom that it was a good time to try a new resin. This was actually the point where I read about the UV stabilizers, the VOCs, and the HALs, and I decided to go with art resin. Let's see how that goes for me. So I've learned that doing things on a larger scale makes things harder when you're working with resin. There's only a certain amount of time to work with resin before it starts to thicken and do its magic, right? Oh my gosh, this is painful to watch. Anybody else seeing the mess I'm making here? When I was doing my testing and my practicing, I was doing it with a whole different resin. Not really thinking, hey, it's not going to be all that different, but it is different. In my Amazing Clear Cast, that's hard to say. I could add paint to my concoction and it worked. When I added the tiniest amount of paint into the art resin, it didn't mix properly and it found itself disconnecting, it looks like. I'm just so disappointed in myself, time-wise, because this takes time to fix. Looking down at the mess that is my first layer, I still have hope. With my art resin and alcohol ink ready to go, I dive in. It's becoming evident that my white still isn't going to hide the sand. And where's the frothiness? I mentioned that time is limited, right? So I blame that for my complete error in judgment here. I went for it. I added paint and Floetrol to my resin, hoping that it would work this time. No surprise when it separated like it did in the first layer, but I had to do something. I even added it up higher in the hopes that it might work out to look like it was some kind of white caps on the water. I was definitely hoping against hope. Now my mess is messier. This project is kicking my booty. I literally have resin everywhere, including my forehead. I ran out of gloves, and so I did the unwise thing and worked without them and just started wiping myself with Clorox bleach wipes. Oh my God. I'm gonna clean myself up and get my other gloves. That's what I'm gonna do. I did. I can't make that up. That just happened. Didn't film the sheer panic in the cleanup. No, I might have saved it. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna walk away and go take a Tylenol because I got a headache. Too much resin, not healthy. Not healthy. There's dips and dives all over this because the ring light fell into it. I picked it up and there were strings coming off of there. Oh my God, holy crap. I just about had a heart attack. After some recovery time, I stubbornly forged ahead, determined to make this piece look better. Because I'm me, and when I'm annoyed or not impressed with my situation, I don't like to take the time to set up a camera and do all the things needed to record my process. So there's footage missing here. I was frustrated and I just didn't have it in me. Bad YouTuber. So what you see here is the finished Lazy Susan in all its glory. There's one thing left to do before I can call it done. I need to get rid of all the drips of resin on the bottom. This was also part of the learning curve. If I had any foresight or experience when I started, I would have taped off the bottom so I could easily remove the drips, like I did here on my second Lazy Susan that I just finished. Be impressed with my vacuum Dremel setup. It worked wonders. There's a lot of resin on the bottom, and I'm gonna have to sand it off. It's time to get a power sander, because this is getting old. Let me just slap some paint on the bottom to clean it up a bit. And we're done. It's done. This resin wave nearly took me under. I had confidence going in with the knowledge that I had gained by watching other YouTube videos, but I was quickly reminded that things aren't always as easy as they seem. Fact is, these resin waves are beautiful when completed, and the journey to completion was a bumpy ride for me. As with anything in life, the stuff that takes more effort tends to be more rewarding. I'm happy to share my creations on here and even happier to remain fully transparent with my struggles. I hope you enjoyed this video and will take the time to give me a like if you did. Please don't be shy. Join the little community I'm growing on here by hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to have you stick around. Thanks so much to all of my current subscribers. You guys are my people. I'll see you all in the next video.